boom crew. They often give you instructions on how to fire a basic cannon, how we did it back then in the Navy. As most of you have noticed already, I'm a man of dirt. No, I would not be this bad to be a sailor. I would be a homespun, and so you're going to have to bear with me. I understand that they were much slimmer back then, and much younger too, for that matter. With that being said, we have a swivel gun here. All right, it's very quick, easy to load weapon, and we used it for primarily anti-personnel when they were boarding the ships. This could fire down the gunnel and on any opposing forces that were trying to board the ship. We'll start off by servicing the piece. You use a large corkscrew, which was the worm. Take it out. Next, grab your sponge. Putting out any of the ammo. While this is going on, there'd be a second man touch hole. Very important to keep the flow of air from going in and keep those hammers lit. Once that was down, you got a powder monkey, usually a small boy, that can run back and forth through all the mayhem going on board the ship, and he in turn will run down to the powder magazine and bring up the charges. Powder magazines were very small, low ceiling. Little young boy, we're talking about 10, 12 years old, run back and forth and in and out of there without getting themselves hung up. You bring the round forward. I would take the round, put it in the barrel, then take the ramrod. Once the round was seated, powder charge was seated, I'd put the projectile, which would either be a round ball or most likely a large buckshot round for anti-personnel. Once that was done, the person with the thumb over the touch hole would take the spike, the prick, and would go ahead and poke the charge. They would prime it with a powder horn, and the gun was ready to fire. This time they would stand back from the muzzle. They would fire the gun with a linstock and a slow match. And all it was just a treated line that would smolder. And when the command to shoot sounded fire, they would go ahead and touch the fuse, slow match, to the powder, which would ignite the charge and fire the round. A good 2 to 3 rounds a minute. We also have a couple of charges. Obviously, this would be the bigger gun, and this would just be the powder charge. Smaller guns. And then for anti-personnel, you can see this is nice big 1-inch balls. And you would have anywhere between 20 and 50 of these tied together. That once again, when you fired that cannon, it became a large shotgun. It would clear the deck of any opposition that was trying to board you. Round ball was used to take out. You really didn't want to sink a ship as much as you wanted to capture it, because the ship was worth a lot more if it was still intact and still floating. But if you were losing the battle, yeah, you went to sink it. If not, you were firing up in the rigging with other types of shot. You had bar shot that looked like a barbell. Chain shot, you would have chain in between. This was fired up from the rig and the mast in hopes of crippling the ship and stopping its forward progress. You could take out the ship's mast. They couldn't maneuver. They were sitting ducks, and at that point, they were more apt to surrender than to continue firing. So all you had to do is get to the bow or the stern, and you can bring all your guns to bear and sink it right then and there. Your heavier guns were down on the lower decks, and progressively, as you went higher on the decks, you would have your lighter guns. This was the ship from being top heavy. But to be honest with you, they learned that the hard way by putting the big guns on the deck, and the ship would actually capsize. The heavier guns were made of cast iron, and the smaller guns, that as they progressed, would be made of bronze or brass. On board the ship, the guns that were exposed to the weather decks, you wanted brass or bronze because they didn't rust, didn't corrode like the cast iron guns below. The cast iron guns could withstand more shock, but the metallurgy concerning it retained heat better, or repelled the heat better, and the gun would stay cooler than the bronze or brass guns up on the top. Fire from the bay. We'll give them what for. And
Just take it down. Just collapse it. It's too windy. Just collapse it.
Good job, Mr. Gunner. I don't know why the Navy crew has so many guns aboard your ship. It takes a while to load them and fire
These guys love that song. There's donuts over there.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you fire a piece in rapid succession. 3 rounds, 1 minute. Special thanks to the gun crew. All right. Special thanks to the Historical Educational Foundation for helping bring this.